Do you have some habits that you really need to break or change? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, we're going to give you 3 tips on how to change your habits. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in to Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. And thank you so much for hanging out with us on the journey. I believe this week we're like episode 161 or something like that. Crazy. Thinking back, honestly, I would never think that we would have made it this far. I thought that I would have given up on it and moved into something else a while ago. But the more that I do it, I realize that from you, that there's a need for it. There is always a listener that can learn from these experiences. And there are so many people who struggle with staying motivated, feeling unmotivated, and lacking confidence. And it is my goal or my purpose, to share with you my experiences and how I overcame feeling unmotivated, not being confident, to where I am today. And to be totally honest with you, I still have days when I feel unmotivated. There are moments when I don't feel as confident as what I should. So this is speaking to you in real time and sharing with you what I'm actually, like, the work that I'm actually doing every day to maintain what you see on the camera. What you see on the camera, if we ever do meet in person, is exactly what you're going to see in real life. This isn't a character for the camera or for the podcast. This is Tommy Danger Brown, and it's truest and most authentic form. Probably the only difference that you would hear is I cuss quite often. The reason why I don't cuss on the podcast is because I know that it will shrink the listenership, because you have to check off a box like, oh, if this contains explicit language. And I think it like puts it in another category. So I just thought, as professional development, or to be mindful of some of the listeners in the audience, it's just something that I control. So, 3 ways to change your habits. And now this honestly is coming from a book that I'm reading, and I can't remember the author's name, but it's called Atomic Habits. So this is me sharing my learning experience of what I've learned thus far from this book with you. So far, excellent book. And I like to always lead by example in talking about a story. So years ago, when I started at the job that I'm at now for 10 years, it was extremely stressful. Okay? Doctor had diagnosed me with high blood pressure. I was eating meat. I was probably drinking way too much, eating way too much sugar. Just doing things that wasn't healthy for me, because I was trying to cope. I was trying to cope with, I got this new gig, I'm making decent money, but the environment was just so toxic. So I used sugar and food and meat and all this other stuff to make me feel better. But in the long run, it started to hurt me. So if you have a similar situation, here's what I recommend that you do in order to change it or start the process of the change. The first thing is, this is going to sound very cliche, but it's true. It's shifting your mind. You have to think about who you want to become. You really have to speak it into existence. I am eating healthier. I am becoming fit. I am becoming smarter. I am becoming more self-aware. You speak these things into existence so that they can actually come into reality. In addition to speaking it, as I always recommend, from the very first episode, if you haven't listened to the first episode, please go back and listen to the very first episode, which is Write in a Journal. All the things that you want to materialize, write it down in your journal. I am becoming more self-aware. I'm becoming more fit. I'm becoming wiser. I am eating healthier. Write all these things down so that you are embedding it in your mind. Now, this is before you even take any action. It's just speaking it into existence. What you also want to do is you want to look at the people or the individual that you aspire to be. So if there is, a Tommy Danger or David Goggins or whoever that you look at, this is what I'm going for. Look at or ask yourself the question, what did they do to get there? How did I transition from eating meat to not eating meat? And I'll tell you, very simple. And actually, my wife started this. It was we would have Meatless Mondays, and it started with just one meal. So at dinner time on Mondays, instead of us having a meat, we would just have beans. Not just beans. It would be, a regular plate of food, but instead of the meat, it would be like an extra serving of beans. And we wanted to do it to where it was like just pretty easy to do. Like you didn't really think about it. So even if we didn't really care for the beans, it would just be a little bit of beans so that we could start shifting our minds, because when we looked at certain people who didn't eat meat, it was trying to find alternative types of protein. So that was one of the things that we do or did. So it's looking at individuals who are where you are and asking yourself, what would they do or how did they do it to get to where they are? Okay, that's number one. Number two, you want to set yourself with a reward. How are you going to reward yourself when you do these small tasks? Okay, so you didn't eat meat one day. Whoop-de-doo. What are you going to do after that, Your reward could be patting yourself on the back. Your reward could be keeping a log or a journal of how many days that you've gone meatless. Like if you set it as a challenge, okay, 30 days, I'm not going to have meat for dinner. Right? And at the end of that 30 days, if there is a item that you wish to get, reward yourself, because we only do things, or you only do things when you're rewarded. You're not just going to do it just for the sake of doing it. Like you want the carrot. You want something at the end to say, I did a good job. So you have to determine what that thing is. And if you're married, I keep it a buck. Like you ask your wife to do something freaky for you, that's just as well as good, because she just may reward you. You will hook me up, right, Grace? Yeah. So you could get a reward from your spouse or your significant other, but honestly, you want to get your own self-reward, and whatever that reward is. It does not have to be monetary, does not have to be an item. You have to practice giving yourself recognition. I did this. I did a good job. I'm doing a good job. I can push through this, right? This is what you want to do. And the third thing that you want to do is, in order to change your habits, is whatever change that you're trying to do, you want to make it easy. If you make it too complicated and you have so much going on in your day and in your life, you're not going to do it. And that's where you see people fail most of the time at like the new year. You have all these goals that you're going to set up, and you got a list, and new year, new me, and all this whatnot. And the biggest thing is that you're going to start at the gym. right? And you all run out and get your gym memberships. This is pre-COVID, right? Because ain't nobody go to the gym last year. And you're going to start, and the first week you're in there with your new workout gear on, and you got your new water bottle and your sneakers on, your towel, you're on the elliptical, and you're feeling good, you do it. Second week you go back, it's really crowded, everybody else got the same idea. Third week, work has been a little stressful, you're like, I could skip a day, but you still have other things on your list, you're trying to save money, you're trying to eat different, you're trying to get a new job, you want to go back to school, you want to get a certification, you start doing all these things, but you haven't finished one. You haven't even got the ball started with one. So you want to make it so simple by sticking to that one thing for a certain period of time until it becomes natural to you so that you could build upon it, right? I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have things that you've implemented to make changes in your life that has been helpful, I would love to hear from you. TomDanger.com, TomDanger. Yeah, that's my website, TomDanger.com. Hit the content section. And that's how we're going to do it. This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.